would help if you actually unmuted me, Mike. Welcome everyone. Hope you all had a very good evening, or if you are watching this on the repeat on Friday morning, let us know your thoughts on the reaction to the draw. Obviously, as the draw will be going in the next 5 minutes, and we'll get our instant reaction. Reds, Tottenham fans, Arsenal fans, Newcastle fans as well. Obviously, I think especially Tottenham and Newcastle fans will be craving for the League Cup trophy as well. Obviously, Liverpool winners of the competition last year as well. But hope you've all had a very good day, everyone. I'm hoping I'd like a nice little, not easy draw. I think obviously Newcastle a very good side, Tottenham as well. But I'd like to. Is it one of them really? If Liverpool do get Arsenal, beat them in the semi-final, and then obviously Newcastle and Tottenham battle it out in the other semi-final, and then obviously it's never easy. I think a lot of Liverpool fans out there, certainly me as well, I think the priority, as we've spoke on numerous videos over the years, should be the Premier League and the Champions League. But if you're in this deep within the competition, I think when you get to the semis, when you get to the final, I think if you're in the possibility of winning a trophy, get it over the line anyway, and we'll cross that bridge. Big up there, Charlie. Massive thank you, mate. Apologies. Yes, hopefully we're not muted by now anyway, mate. But Charlie, chat, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who are you hoping? Who are you wanting in the draw? Anyway, Liverpool are ball number 2 in this as well. I think Arsenal were number 1 anyway, but the draw will be very soon anyway as well, Reds, and just rival fans as well. If you are new to Anfield Road TV as well, hit that subscribe button down below. Everyone's welcome. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's always good. I think many of a year before Jurgen Klopp, it was great that we went in many semi-finals, many finals on a regular occurrence that we've been in the best part of the last 6, 7, 8 years anyway. I think we've been very privileged as a set of fans, really, to have the opportunity to go to semi-finals, to go to finals and be in contention of the big prizes, most importantly, as well. Spare with me 1 second here. I'm just going to quickly just re-edit that. Let's move that up there in a sec, chat. And once the draw's being obviously drawn, everyone, I will obviously just amend the graphics really and very much get it sorted really in terms of the official. Once we get the official announcements anyway, I've got the draw in the background anyway, so it's happening as it goes live. Maybe 1 sec. Obviously, Arsenal are ball number 1, Liverpool ball number 2, and we are underway here as well, chat. So, ball number 1, Arsenal in the first semi-final draw. Who will be facing Arsenal in the first semi-final? Is it going to be Liverpool? No, it's going to be number 3. So, Arsenal versus Newcastle, and it's Liverpool Spurs. So, fingers crossed Liverpool can get the first draw out. Are we the first ball out? No. It is going to be Tottenham at home first. And then obviously Liverpool will be away on the first semi-final. Oh, saying that, yeah, no, that's helped. So I'm guessing, obviously, the second leg of the draw. Reds, are we happy with that? Liverpool versus Tottenham. Obviously, the first legs will be played on the 6th of January, and then the second leg of the winner will be on the February the 3rd as well. So not too bad. So Liverpool have got the second leg at Anfield. So Liverpool and Newcastle have both got the second legs. I'm happy with that, if I'm being honest, chat. Bear with me 1 second whilst I just quickly amend the graphic there. But Liverpool have been drawn against Tottenham. It's not going to be an easy game by no means anyway. Reds, just bear with me 1 second there. And also just change that graphic. But yeah, Arsenal fans, Newcastle fans, let us know your thoughts on that reaction to the draw. Really, I think that's I think from all included, really, it'd be quite happy, especially Newcastle fans. It's so much easier getting very much the second leg at Anfield, and certainly with St James's Park. We know the Geordie lot will be very much up for that as well. Bear with 1 second here, just on the fly here with the edit. Just making that quick edit. Just putting that there. And get the just so we can, once that's done, we can just crack on with that. But yeah, everyone, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy. I'm just made up that we're not facing Arsenal in the middle of what would be an absolutely crazy already fixture schedule that it already is. So it's going to be one of them. Of course, Tottenham, who we are playing this weekend. Obviously, we'll get like a little taster of the fixture in a couple of weeks' time anyway, in regards to that. But Ange Postecoglou, who for me does get a lot of wrongful flack, really, in all honesty, in regards to obviously him as a manager. Really, I think he does the best job he possibly can in terms of what he's got at his disposal at Tottenham, really. Bear with 1 second, just. And we'll get to all your comments as well. Keep on getting them in anyway. You're absolute legends. Bear with 1 second, we're done. Just need to save this. Yeah. So one-man band over there. Right, let's get that graphic done. Here you go. There we go, Chas. And then we can see the comments. So let me upload that. And then, yeah, so Liverpool, if you're just tuning in, wondering what the draw was, Liverpool have been drawn up against, obviously, Tottenham Hotspur in the other semi-final. And, of course, there we go. There we go. As you can see here in a little second, once it loads. I have sent an invite out to Kev anyway, see if he wants to jump on. But yeah, obviously that is obviously the draw for the League Cup. Obviously the thing is the 3rd of January, and obviously the second leg will be getting played in and around February time as well. So let me know your thoughts, Gunners, Geordies, and Spurs fans as well. Obviously I should have. So, yeah, it's the other way around, but the premise of that is as it is anyway. But I'm absolutely made up with that draw, really. I think if Liverpool were given Arsenal, I think for both Liverpool and Arsenal, in regards to obviously the league standings and obviously the fixture congestion, it's not ideal, of course. The priority will be for most of us the Premier League and the Champions League, but certainly big up there, Dory. Yes, Arsenal was the nightmare draw for the second leg tie. Glad we avoided that. Big up there, Dory. Yeah, it would have been an absolute nightmare with that, if we're all being honest, mates. I think playing them, but not that it's going to be a given. Playing against Tottenham Hotspur, I think. Well, I suppose if you didn't work or you've been out and about tonight and you haven't watched the United Spurs game, I tell you what, hopefully Forster's playing away like he did tonight, because both sets of goalies tonight for United and Tottenham were absolutely shambolic. In all honesty, you wouldn't think you were classed as Premier League elite level goalkeepers. I think we've seen goalkeepers down the park do a better job than those two goalies tonight. But yeah, it was I think for Liverpool, from our point of view, it's going to be a difficult game. But I think the main thing for everyone tonight, apologies if I should have made the graphic be that the other way, but that's for the first leg. Liverpool will be, of course, in the second leg at home at Anfield, and Newcastle will be at home in their second leg draw as well. So I think it's a good overall. I think for every set of fans, really, I think Newcastle's form in recent seasons against Arsenal it's been all right, really. I think the Geordies have very much backed themselves to get one over Arsenal, if we're being honest. There'll be a lot of rotation from all four sides, really, but mainly Liverpool and Arsenal. But you'd expect, obviously, Tottenham to go all guns blazing in regards to like they did tonight, went quite strong, which is interesting considering you've got Liverpool at the weekend. But as we know, we had Virgil van Dijk, we had obviously Ryan Gravenberch rested as well, and numerous other big key players rested for Liverpool. So I think a steady rotation for Liverpool has, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will help us in regards to what we want to do on Sunday night as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Big up there, Zane. And the second leg at Anfield, decent as well. 100% there, Zane. It's exactly what we wanted, mate. Big up there, Mark. Mark's happy with the draw. Happy days there, mate. Both tasty games as well, 100%, mate. With our Spurs in the league, Spurs are in the league at the minute, mate. I think obviously in regards to their standing in the Premier League, 10th in the Premier League, which they are obviously, I think 5 points off Forest as well. Yeah, 5 points off. Nottingham Forest, who are out in fourth. So yeah, Spurs are a weird one, really. I think if you ask any Tottenham fan, they've got one of the best, if not one of the best stadiums in world football. Certainly got the longest beverage bar in world football as well. State-of-the-art stadium. I think the main thing that has let down Spurs in recent times and certain seasons in regards to them being a successful football club, it's obviously that shift in that mentality of being Spursy in terms of, but I think it all stems from the people running the football club at Spurs in terms of their ambition in the transfer market. When you bring in the likes of Conte, when you bring in the likes of Mourinho, you know what you're going to get with them. You're going to get their mentality. You're going to get their quality. And I know Mourinho, some people class him as being past it, but certainly what he brought to that football club was an honesty. He brought his quality to what in which he does still have as a manager. But I think Tottenham, it doesn't matter if you bring in, even if you could even bring Pep Guardiola into that Tottenham side, and I think even he would struggle in terms of shifting that mentality in terms of just getting over the line, because it's deep rooted in terms of Tottenham. It is mad because you think about the great players that they've had over the seasons as well. Heung-min Son, a player of his ability, you do shake your head and go, why are you still at Tottenham? Like, for the quality and playing in which he is, but he truly does love Tottenham. Obviously a bit more than Harry Kane in recent seasons as well. So it's going to be one of them. It's not going to be an easy game by all accounts, Reds as well, but certainly the better half of the draw, really. I'm just made up that we have avoided Arsenal, in all honesty, there as well. Big up there, Nick. Premier League teams have been doing well in Europe this season so far. It may help the fifth place team to qualify for next season's Champions League as well. Yeah, Nick, I think that was a changing in the rules, in all honesty. I think the steady rotation of obviously Champions League football, which is mad when you'll have United fans and Tottenham fans cheering on Liverpool and Arsenal and City in the Champions League. But it is what it is, mate. You do look and analyse most modern leagues. The Bundesliga helps Bundesliga teams out in Europe. The big one in European football is the Italian league. The Italian Federation massively help out the Italian sides in Europe in terms of if Juve or Inter have been playing over the last 5, 10, 20 years, really. They get a pass in the league, which is understandable because I think the more successful the league is, and their leagues, obviously, it's different. So all of us won't be cheering on Man United for the Champions League, I'll tell you that now. But it's just mad how certain other leagues do work. I think the climate in which we do find ourselves in terms of the amount of games, the amount of minutes, the amount of hours teams are just getting pumped out of all these football clubs. It will precipice really in terms of a point where like these players have just gone through a brick wall for all of them, and they're only human at the end of the day. I do think football clubs need to be the size of the squads need to be made a bit bigger. Whether you put a bigger allocation in regards to the under 21 level, that's the only way I can foresee European world football in terms of the amount of minutes and the sheer amount of football games that are being played. Squads need to get bigger, but obviously with bigger squads, obviously the bigger revenue and bigger transfer wages, fees, and everything on a weekly basis. So it's mad, but it will be interesting, Nick. I think for the spectacles of Premier League, we know a lot of clubs, a lot of leagues out there in Europe are jealous of the Premier League because I think we've done well in terms of promoting the Premier League over the last 20 years in terms of the money coming in as well. But you just need to continue that bit of rhythm, bit of momentum, really, in regards to obviously just keeping the Premier League as 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 hyped it is, as positive it is, really. Big up there, John. Hi, Jack. Thoughts on Gravenberch being linked with Real Madrid? I haven't seen that, John. So I'm not. I don't want to see too much on it, really. But yeah, John, a player like Ryan Gravenberch, every top player will be eventually linked with all the top sides as well. But at the minute, John, I'm not really, obviously, I haven't seen that article that you have mentioned anyway, mate. So, but in regards to just any top player being linked with any top football club, it's inevitable, really, John. If I'm being honest, but the main thing and the best way to keep players like Gravenberch and Van Dijk and the Salahs and the Trents at your football club is being competitive in the transfer market, being competitive in the Premier League, and being in contention for all the big European prizes as well, mate. Footballers are very simple. If you keep them happy, you give them the platform, give them the opportunity, they'll run through a brick wall. And especially certain players that have come to Liverpool, they know and they appreciate the support in which every Liverpool fan gives to them as well. And certain players have, like, just look at Daniel Agger. Like, I love Daniel Agger. What a player he could have been potentially wise if he just wasn't injured in regards, but he bled red in terms of he loved Liverpool Football Club, and he wasn't here for a very long time anyway. Obviously grew up, I think he was a boyhood Liverpool fan anyway, but when he got the move to Liverpool, he obviously it meant the world to him. And Daniel Agger, at that time he was linked with the likes of Barcelona's, the big European clubs as well. I think he was a centre half that was ahead of his time in terms of ball playing, facilitating the ball at the back as well, really. North London derby final, potentially, Nick. Hopefully we do the business anyway and certainly get into that opportunity, Nick. But obviously, I think the one thing for the Liverpool point of view for all of us, really, when we've spoken about Liverpool, and it's never been Liverpool fans that have spoke about the quads. Us fans will laugh it off, really, but it's unrealistic in the modern era of football. There's a reason why no football club has done the quad in English football. It's impossible to do, really. Mainly due to the fact of, unless there was bigger squads in the future where you can add an extra 5 or 10 players into your to whatever the number is currently anyway. Maybe if the football clubs had bigger squads, but it's unrealistic. You look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester City in recent seasons, especially if this Manchester City side in the era of the Pep Guardiola era of Man City, if they've never managed to do it, I don't think anyone will do it. And certainly Liverpool, the quad chase and Reds last couple of years, it did decimate. It finished Fabinho off even before Fabinho's got to the age of 38 or whatnot. It just zapped the energy, not just out of Fabinho, but certain players at Liverpool over recent years. It took them out of it, really. It took us out of the league for certain seasons as well. And just look what it's done to Manchester City at this season as well. Not that they're out of it. Obviously, it's only the 19th of December, really. But I think the struggles Man City have had, very similar to the ilk in which Liverpool in certain seasons struggled in the Premier League. And that didn't help with us going in for the league. It's great. It's great for all of us. We love getting into finals. And no Liverpool fan out there takes it for granted, really, especially before the Jurgen Klopp era as well. Obviously, the League Cup final win with Kenny as well. And obviously, certain finals, obviously, 2001. Great year under Gerard Houllier as well, with Owen and Heskey and those lads in terms of winning the numerous trophies we did there. But on a consistent level, it's great. But in regards to obviously Liverpool being competitive, the main trophies we want to be looking for are the Premier League and the Champions League. But the main thing is, obviously, we've done like a little video about Cherki today as well. Appreciate everyone for checking that out today. But I think the excitement for every football fan, but most importantly for Liverpool, from our point of view, is going into the January transfer window with a lot of positivity. If we can strengthen this squad, it gives Liverpool every opportunity to be successful, not just in the Premier League or the Champions League, but also in the next couple of years' time, where you've got the likes of Jadon Danns coming through the football club, Harvey Elliott as well. He's obviously struggling for minutes in the last couple of seasons. Yes, he's been in a Liverpool squad, but I think if he could, it just helps him in terms of his development as well. He's a senior player now, and he's only 21, 22 years old, Harvey Elliott. So Quansah coming through, given the opportunity. So all the young players that are coming through at Liverpool in the next 2 years, 3 years' time, if they can establish themselves, and certainly the players on the peripheral of Liverpool's squad, you're looking at Chiesa, if he can get back to his full fitness that we know he can do. I think games in the League Cup, games in the FA Cup as well, will certainly help in terms of getting our rhythm, getting our momentum come what the end of May. If you're playing players in form and playing players into form as well, into other numerous competitions, I think it only bodes well in terms of us being successful across many of a competition, really, as well. And we'll keep on getting your comments in as well, Reds, and any rival fans as well. If there's any Tottenham fans, Newcastle fans, or Arsenal fans, let us know your thoughts on that. It's Spurs lads versus it's Manchester United lads. Big up there, Damo, as well. Yes. Damo, what did you think about that semi-quarter then, mate? Chat, if you didn't watch it. You didn't know, I'd say in terms of quality, you didn't miss a lot. I think it was mainly to the fact of obviously the shambles of goalkeeping. Go and check out the highlights before you go to bed tonight. Some absolute clangers. Fingers crossed Fraser Forster is doing that come what Sunday anyway when we play them. But big up there, Damo. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you for tuning in. I preferred the preferred draw for us as well. Yeah, obviously if you're just tuning in, Liverpool will be at home in the second semi-final game as well, which is a good positive, really. Big up there, John, for us. Super League. Yeah, John, Super League nonsense, really. It's just whatever branding they go with, really. Money talks in football, John. I think every football fan knows that. The fact that the whole footballing world did unite together in a positive, and rightly so, when the Super League did come about. Most importantly, as it should, the footballing family. But yeah, whatever they call it, whatever branding, I think the premise, but it is, I think if you analyse it, it will be inevitable. I think the money within the competition, if it gets the right backing, there will, not to say that to rule it out, it'll never happen, but the greediness within football, it will come about eventually. We just mentioned the squad sizes. They'd have to triple the squad sizes, fair enough, but it's one of them, mate, really. I think for every big football club, whatever league you are in, most importantly, you've got to protect the foundations in terms of the lower leagues in these leagues, whether that be in like the Conference League of English football. You're looking at the Serie A 4th, 5th tier, and Bundesliga 3rd tier as well. Like the safeguarding really of obviously the other teams in the divisions as well. Because it's not just all about the big teams in these big divisions, your Liverpools, your Inter Milans, your Real Madrid, your Barças and all that. It's about the teams that below them that make football really. And that's part and parcel. Not everyone goes out there to support a big club. It's about every tier of English football and every tier of world football for that matter, really. Yeah, big up there, Damo. Yeah, I get for me, Damo, as a young Red coming up, he was one of my favourite players. I think just the affiliation to the football club, you could just tell he loved the football club, and it's just a real great shame that he did have the injuries in which he did have in his career, really. Because I tell you, everyone speaks about Virgil van Dijk, but I think if Daniel Agger was injury free and he got the opportunity to do what he could do on a regular on a regular period, I think Daniel Agger certainly would be up there in contention to be one of Liverpool's greatest ever centre halves. But it was at a period in time where he was in and out with injuries as well. We'll never know. But I think in terms of his footballing ability, he certainly would have been up there for Liverpool if he was just injury free. Well, what a player! The great left peg, Aguilar's unfortunate with us. Obviously, was it the screamer against Chelsea as well? Was it in the semis? I think I can remember that, the edge of the penalty area. Tell you, we had some mad Champions League games against Chelsea, didn't we? Seemed like we played Chelsea every single week, really. Felt like the best part of the last 5-6 years with Rafa and Jose at that period in time as well. Too many games and tournaments for the bigger teams. It is. Money talks, though, Mark, and it will continue to do so. And that's where it will, the negative side of football, really, in regards to obviously the fans, really. The more games, like, yeah, it's important. There are important issues that the big TV companies, not that they shy away from, but it's important that the lawmakers in the Premier League and within English football do look after the fans, because we've seen obviously with the pandemic, with the no fans in the stadium, how important it was. Like they are the life beating heart of every football club. Like football clubs are not just football clubs; they're so important to the ethos of every town in the world. In terms of, you look at like Liverpool, we're lucky that we've got two big teams in the Premier League on Merseyside as well, Liverpool and Liverpool Reserves. But and obviously in the Premier League as well, like you look at Bury, the sad state of affairs that was really, but they're so important to a lot of people really as well. So let us know. Big up there, Mateus as well. You know, absolutely. Chat, let us know your thoughts on Cherki as well. I know obviously a lot of people have already checked out the little short that we did today, really, but it will be an interesting signing. I think this rumor might, and I say rumor because it is a rumor at this moment in time. But I think if we did express an interest and he did come to Liverpool, I think he's certainly a player that has a lot of talent. Only 21 years old as well. And I think he certainly would bolster Liverpool's options up front, certainly as well. But big up there, Matthias, sorry. Evening, just came home after the draw. Pretty motivating to see Spurs, Tottenham in the semis, although I don't know if Van der Ven will be back for the semis. The whole other team with him on the pitch as well. Yeah, Matthias, it is difficult. I think they've absolutely knackered him this season. Matthias, I think Mickey Van der Ven, obviously we've done countless transfer videos prior to his move to Tottenham in the summer. Obviously was linked with Liverpool. Would have loved him to have come to Liverpool. I think he's got the right skill set to just thrive, not just at Tottenham, but any elite level side. His technical understanding, Mickey Van der Ven, I think he's got all the physical attributes certainly to complement Tottenham, and we've already seen that. But I think he's that quick. I think Tottenham really need to look after those hamstrings as well. Especially he's a player that does rely on his pace as well. But I tell you, I think if he continues development, I think he will go to a bigger club. No disrespect to Tottenham anyway, but I think he will be a big miss. Hopefully he's not playing against us at the weekend. Obviously, it's hit and miss over the last couple of weeks as well. I don't think he'll be fit, Mateus, if he does continue to get these persistent injuries, Mickey Van der Ven. But what a centre half, mate. Obviously, we know, Vicario is out. He's a big miss for Tottenham in the Premier League. I think Vicario outside the top four, certainly one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. What a goalkeeper. I'd be very surprised if you can keep hold of him. Main thing with Vicario, if he is to come back, he needs to come back to full fitness and certainly full form. I do anticipate him to go to a club in the Serie A, really. One of the big boys as well. The league is so unstable. Money needs capping for the clubs as well. It does, Mark, and that's me coming from a big club like Liverpool. It's great seeing Liverpool be successful, but I think the majority of every Liverpool fan, most importantly, want to be seeing Liverpool be successful. But for me, I don't want it to be at the expense of other football clubs, really. As mad as that might feel for some Liverpool fans, of course, we want to be thinking about ourselves, really. But I think every Liverpool fan is under the illusion, really, of we understand where Liverpool has come from. The days of Shankly, the days of Paisley as well, and even before Bill Shankly as well, in terms of the foundations this great football club was built on. It's not just all about Liverpool. And I think Shankly said that best himself as well at his time at Liverpool. It's about the people. It's about the people within football as well. They are just so important. And I think the Premier League and the people running the football clubs as well sometimes need reminding that, yeah, especially at a time like Christmas as well, and like holiday periods when you are like the money within football. It's all well and good as fans or just general football fans wanting big transfers as well, but sometimes that can be subsidised by the revenue that is getting pumped in from the Premier League as well. So crazy numbers that these football clubs do generate as well. Now, I know we all know football clubs do. Not many of them run on a profit. Very rarely. I think there's no Premier League team in the league that runs on a profit. You'd be very hard pressed to very much see that in your European club for that matter. Even Brighton, everyone points to their great success, but they've still spent money. Of course, it's great buying the little 5, 10, 15 million pound gems. But when you've got overly inflated prices, when you've got Chelsea knocking on your door every 5 minutes for one of your players, you're like, go on, you can buy them. But it's one of them. But the league is so, 100%. Are we tapping up before we go bankrupt? Yes. Matthias, it is mad. And a great club like Lyon as well. This goes to show they're in, as we said on the little short we done today. Massive thank you for everyone for tuning in for that. It's and Liverpool were in debt a very long time ago as well. Before FSG come about. Obviously, Liverpool were in a very dangerous position as well. So no football club is safe. You could be speaking about these 130-year-old big institutions in terms of these big football clubs that mean so much to the communities. And then you can get a set of cowboys that come in and run football clubs into the ground, really, because it is mad. It's scary because a lot of poor decision making at the top of these football clubs, as we've seen with like Bury and other football clubs as well. It is scary, but sometimes it's not all about the money. It's just about creating a good foundation, good building blocks to be a successful, sustainable. I think the most important thing in football now is sustainability, really, and being successful. Obviously, trophies are the paramount, the objective, or how you get there is as most important than getting to your end goals, really, as well. Turkey for Christmas. I tell you, I seen that on you said that on Damo on Con's channel as well. That would be the headline, really. Tell you, it's it should work for the paper, you Damo, in terms of great headline. But you never know. Be good if we could get him over the line, really. Highly talented footballer. But yeah, really too many players. Wait and see. Yeah. It's important that when we do get to replacing the big football players at Liverpool, these players that have done so well for Liverpool for many of the years, really. You look at Van Dijk, it will come a time where Liverpool will need to replace Virgil van Dijk after this next new contract as well. It'd be great if we can get the next Virgil van Dijk in 2 years before he retires or whatever does happen as well. That's what you want. You want future planning. And certainly for numerous transfer windows over the last couple of years as well, even before Arne Slot's come into the football club, he would have known that FSG sometimes like to do a bit of wheeling and dealing. But when you need to replace fundamentally footballing quality, sometimes you need to spend the money, but not always. You don't need to go out and spend £100 million on every player. But what you do need to do is be future planning for 2-3 years down the line as well. Because we don't want to be put in a position where we were over the last 12 months, where we've brought in McAllister, brought in Gravenberch as well, brought in other Dominic Szoboszlai. It's fantastic, but I think for every Liverpool fan, we would have loved to have seen those reinforcements at a time when we had Ginny, when we had Henderson as well, when we had Milner as well, because that would have caveated and that would have made Liverpool an even stronger football club. But sometimes in football, you can't have everything, but you can never have enough good football players at your football club. The more you have, the better chance you have of winning football games and most importantly, titles along the way as well. Look at us in the 70s and 80s. We had all the best players in every position at that football club at that time as well. And hence why we were so successful under the likes of Bob Paisley and Fagan and the lads and Kenny and everything. So, yeah, and hopefully we are going into a very successful period as well, and with big Arne slot as well. Tell you what a job Arne has done. I want a job these players have done, by the way, as well. Though Reds, we're not taking it for granted. And hopefully with the League Cup, we do win that in a couple of weeks' time. And yet again, and mainly for the young players as well, it creates their bit of history as well. Because not many players, when you come to Liverpool, they have a long career at Liverpool. But look at Jayden Danns, the business he done last year in terms of the impact in which he had in that competition as well. So yeah, memories that will last a lifetime, really. Miss Doak as well, another player that we haven't even mentioned. He's absolutely bossing it for Middlesbrough at the minute mark. I've not seen a lot of him, but when I've been reading a couple of articles and obviously scout reports in terms of journalists in the Championship and Middlesbrough journalists as well, have been very, very impressed with what they've seen from him, really, and the impact already. Ideally, if Middlesbrough get promoted, if Middlesbrough want to see Ben Doak in their squad for next season, that's a win-win for Liverpool. If we can get him guaranteed minutes in the Premier League, I think that's the most, for any football club, most importantly, you want your young player to get the opportunity in the squad. But most importantly, if you can make an impact as well, I tell you, Mark, that would be ridiculous developments. It's basically they're developing your player for free, really. Obviously Liverpool might subsidise the wages in certain aspects. We might be paying 40 to 60 to Middlesbrough or however it works out. But I think Liverpool will be very happy if Ben Doak was getting guaranteed week after week opportunities in the Premier League. And I think for his development would be amazing, really, to say the least, as well. Kay Gordon, I think he's at Norwich this season as well. Not getting a lot of minutes, which is disappointing with Kay Gordon, really. I think, obviously, he's another player to keep an eye on. He's shot up, really. I think he's about 6 foot odd now. I think, obviously, at the time when Elliott was coming into the football club as well, Kay Gordon, I think we had terrible injuries last season in terms of his developments, and especially when you are a young player, it does really stint your developments in terms of getting in first team minutes. Almost the same. Look at Enzo not getting many mins after that display yesterday. Have to be a way to give the lad more minutes and not making us play any worse as well. It's Mateus, and we've all said this as Liverpool fans, even rival fans, for your football club or whatnot. For every great team, you've got to have players like Endo in your football club. Endo knows his place in this team, but without successful teams, if you didn't have players like Endo that come in and they put in a 7 out of 10 performance the majority of the time when they do play, do you know, for Endo, how old is he now? 30, 31. However old he is as well. He would be wanting to play 38 games a season, of course, at the age he is now. But many of the player might have sucked, really, but not Endo or not players of that ilk, really, where they've come in and they do a stellar job, really. You knew what Liverpool, we knew what we were getting with Endo. At the time, of course, we wanted Caicedo and all that. But I tell you what, looking back on it now, Endo, I think the impact in since he's been at the football club has been absolutely exceptional, a real professional. And if he is to go in the next 12 months, 2 years' time or whatnot, he goes with all our well wishes, but he's a Liverpool player at this moment in time. We love him to bits. Mainly, I think for any great football club, especially Liverpool fans, if we can see a player putting in the hard yards, putting in the performances, really playing for the badge, I think we'll love you even more as well, especially if we can run through a brick wall for the football club. And even better if you're a good footballer as well along the way. Really helps. But yeah, I think long term he won't be at the football club, Matthias, as we all know. But I think once that inevitable quality does come in, he'll know himself. When you're at a football club like Liverpool, there needs to be a steady rotation of quality coming through the football club. And and if he is to go in the next year or so, Endo, or even January, will certainly have a lot of suitors as well. I do think if Stuttgart, I think Stuttgart certainly might come back in for him if he gets put transfer listed by Liverpool at 100% Stuttgart, the impact in which he has in the German side, obviously instrumental in terms of their development over the last 2-3 year period at his time in Germany as well. Obviously, Japanese captain as well. I tell you, Japan's national side, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, obviously we've done the watch longs in the World Cup as well, but they were one of the underdogs for the tournament and certainly didn't disappoint. Really, I think it was the Qatar World Cup, wasn't it? Not too long ago, anyway. 2 years ago. 2 years. It feels like yesterday, but it was obviously 2 years ago, anyway. In December. Grassroots football has been struggling for a while as well. Yeah, and the money we're awash with in football. It's important that you do protect the because in terms of the development of players as well, especially like street footballers, in terms of like, I think for every person that's played football or whatnot with your mates or whatnot, you're playing in the garden or you're playing the road or whatnot. But I think they created Wayne Rooney and they created a lot of great legendary footballers. And I think the less and less you take away in terms of the opportunity for footballers, I think it's important that everyone does have the opportunity. I think that's the great thing about football. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. Anyone can be a footballer around the world as well. That's why it's the beauty of football. It's if you've got a good quality, if you've got the right upbringing as well in terms of the right opportunities, but if you're given the opportunities and you step up, what a platform it can be for not just like a footballer, but for like their communities as well. Especially from around the world in terms of the upbringing and everything. I think it provides every person every opportunity for just to build amazing stuff for their communities and sending money back as well. It's just that's why I love football as well as Liverpool winning trophies and all that. But it's all these little stories you do listen to players because they're just human at the end of the day. Just lads that have been grown up playing with the mates in the park and they've been on the world stage, winning World Cups and winning Euros, winning Champions Leagues, like Gerrard winning the Champions League with Liverpool and Trent winning the Champions League with Liverpool. That's what it's all about as well. Because if I had the ability, I would have loved to have played football, but certainly that's why I'm doing YouTube anyway. But I love speaking about football, like every single one of you as well. But yeah, what talented footballers that they have been. I don't know, like how transfers are open. Sorry there, Mark. I don't like how all transfers are out in the open. Agents leaking deals to raise player prices. I think it's disappointing, Mark. I think the world we live in terms of football and transfers at the minute, it's the dark arts really in terms of the world of football. There's many of the great documentaries out there in terms of just go on YouTube, some interesting documentaries in terms of the money. That's the one side of football. I think agent fees. I think especially certain footballers. We just mentioned just not too long ago then about certain footballing journeys. But when you've got certain agents destroying footballers' careers in terms of getting them to move football club for the betterment of themselves, or not most importantly their own client, in terms of because sometimes footballers just did you get the wrong agent? Did you get the wrong people around them? And it's disappointing. But I think most importantly, the players make the right decision. But if you're in that position as a footballer, sometimes certain footballers do get the wrong people around them, which is disappointing. But that's where the Premier League and like the footballing federations really, the people that look after the players in terms of their camp really, it's important. But yeah, it's one of them, Mark. Hopefully it will improve over the next 5 years as well. Because the more money that you keep in football, I think in any department, I think it massively helps really in that regard. Many signals as agreed. Yeah, Matthias, hopefully fingers crossed, mate. Hopefully it might be Christmas period over the next couple of weeks as well or whatnot. I think they'll certainly, ideally before the transfer window does open, Matthias. Hopefully one day we wake up and we're doing a Liverpool reaction to Salah signing that new deal. and even it might be a triple header. Salah, Trent, and Virgil all signing new deals. That's the job. That's the aim as well. Fingers crossed, mate. Yeah. Nah, it's Rami Abbas who sounds. It's the modern world we live in, Matthias. You know yourself, mate. It's agent talk, really. There's a lot of to and froing, really, from every person within a football club, really, and it's all part of the game, really. Obviously, Rami Abbas is working for his client Mo, and I've done numerous videos years gone by as well, about Rami. He's just looking after Salah, looking after him because I'm pretty sure Rami knows Salah. He loves the football club. Rami Abbas is not sat at home going, "Yeah, Mo, I want you to move to the Saudi League or anywhere in European football." He respects Salah's wishes because you've got such a close relationship. Salah and his agents, really, they both want what's best for Mo. And certainly, if that is Salah signed for Liverpool Football Club, yeah, he'll want Salah to retire because Rami's not stupid. He knows how much we love Mo at Liverpool and vice versa. Similar with Mo to Liverpool as well. But the main people and the most important people is the people giving out the contracts. If the football club are refusing to give Salah a 2-year deal, then all Rami Abbas has to do in a couple of weeks' time is say, yeah, come out and get Salah to release a little interview and say, yeah, Salah saying he wants to stay, but the club aren't offering me 2 years, and then the boot is well and truly on Liverpool Football Club's end there. Really, it's right. You got Salah coming out on numerous occasions saying Liverpool, he wants to be staying, he wants to retire at Liverpool. But yeah, over the years of doing YouTube as well, numerous Salah announcement videos. I remember Mo getting announced when we signed him. I didn't anticipate him to score as many goals as he did, but certainly, we all want Mo to retire at Liverpool. The quicker we get these deals done, boxed off, then we can just focus on our football, focus on Arne Slot coming into the football club, and we can just focus on Liverpool being as successful as we possibly can on a football pitch. And certainly those 3 lads, Virgil, Salah and Trent, have got a massive part to play as well. But if some of them are leaving, then sound, we wish them well as well. But whatever will be, really, in that regard. Gravenberch has 1 yellow card from the next Gravenberch has 1 yellow card for the next 4 matches of getting a ban, but I bet Slot will play Michaelis. That's the thing, no, Matthias. I think sometimes you just got to play them through suspension. If it needs to be, just get a yellow card, especially with the congestion, the fixture pile up as well. I think that shows a good positive, though, with Matthias in terms of Gravenberch. He's not afraid to not put his foot in. Because sometimes that's been Liverpool's downfall in previous seasons, especially under Jurgen Klopp football as well. How many times did we see always get counter-attacked and we're just go through him, stop the play, stop the transition, and the opposition team's gone up the other end and scored. But that just goes to show that Gravenberch is not afraid to put a foot in and just break up play, especially in the modern era of football now. We know how important it is, just stopping the play, stopping the flow. But yeah, I think Matthias, it'll just be a case in the next game or 2. And I just say, yeah, get the yellow, get it out of the way, and then get that boxed off, really. And then we can go post-January as well and get it out the way. Matthias, 2 clubs will be required to negotiate and agree a deal to terminate the loan early potential with part of the initial fee waived as well. Oh, sorry, Matthias. Nice one, mate. Missed that one. But with Salzburg paying the loan fee for secure Bajcetic's services for the season, Liverpool are not expected to hold a straightforward recall option. Yeah, is that just coming out tonight, mate? Appreciate that for dropping that in, mate. But yeah, it's a difficult situation with I think you look at Bobby Clark at Salzburg. Obviously, he moved not just to get first team football, but he moved with the instruction of Pep Lijnders being at the football club. But it is what it is. I think we will see Bobby Clark move to a big championship side, or potentially he's a lad with a lot of talent, really, and I think he might get that move to a certain club in the Championship. And I think we will see him in the Premier League in a couple of years' time. Bobby Clark, if he does continue the developments, very highly regarded within football as well. By the end of the day, Salah is not replaceable, so get the deal over the line as well. Yeah, we're talking about one of the greatest ever players for Liverpool. And certainly, yeah, at this moment in time, at this minute, there's no replacement out there for Salah. You'd have to bring in 2-3 players to replace Salah, and that's what the football club need to. They know themselves, but I think I think the footballer people to be able to do in the transfers. Fair enough if the data lads have said, right, we've got 3 players here that can potentially replace Salah, but yeah, until they're like in an interview and say, yeah, it's an impossible job at this moment in time. There's not a player out there that screams out to me, yeah, Salah replacement straight away. There isn't. I know a lot of people might mention names, but in terms of the numbers Salah's been producing over the last 7-8 years, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke, the amount of goals. And if the player and when the player does come in eventually to replace Salah, post a Salah retirement at Liverpool, hopefully when he hangs up his boots, no, they've got to come in and hit the ground running, really. It's going to be difficult. But I wonder what's oh yeah, maybe chat. Massive thank you for everyone that's tuned in tonight, everyone. Really appreciate it. Obviously, if you're just tuning in, Liverpool did get drawn up against Tottenham Hotspur in the semi-final. Arsenal will be at home in their first leg against Newcastle. And Newcastle will be playing their second leg at St. James's, which would be good for the Geordies. And Liverpool will be at home against Tottenham in the second leg as well, which is a good positive. But no easy tie in the League Cup, but I think we're all happy that we can get Arsenal in the semi-finals, because playing them over 2 legs, sandwiched in with the Premier League football as well, and the Champions League football as well, would have been absolutely utter carnage, really. But yeah, were you sacked by? Yeah, no, I know he was sacked by the Red Bull. Mark, 100% there. Nice. But chat, have a lovely rest of your night, morning, whatever. And Matos as well. Yeah. But really do appreciate everyone that is tuned in tonight, everyone. Massive thank you for getting involved. If you have missed your comments, it's not been intentional. You've all been bloody smashing it. Just quickly get a Damo's comment. Missed that one. Gavardio probably hasn't had a decent night sleep. Yeah, Benzo when he played Croatia versus Scotland as well. And he's a good centre half, Gavardio, anyway. But yeah, chat, I will see you tomorrow for another episode anyway. If you do follow us on all social media platforms, whether that be TikTok, YouTube Shorts as well, there'll be a lot more content coming out on the Shorts content in regards to that as well. But if you are watching this on the repeat on Friday morning or whatnot, let us know your thoughts on the draw and anything that we've discussed tonight as well. You're very much appreciated. But everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow, nearly the weekend. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow, Reds. As always, look after yourself and yeah, see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.